Hey Bookies! Today we are going to go over books that I would recommend to the Goth family. So let's get started. Now, some of you might not know what I'm talking about, but I am a gamer as well as a reader, and I really like playing The Sims 4. I have been a huge fan of the Sims franchise since I was young, and I played The Sims 1. So I decided what better way to put together my love of The Sims and my love of reading with book recommendations I would have if the Goth family was real. Hi, honey. So we're going to go with The Sims 4 version of the Goth family because The Sims 4... don't even get me started, but it exists, all the families in there exist in a timeline that's outside of their original timeline, which makes it a little bit easier than me. I don't like it lore-wise, but whatever, we're not here for that. So we're going to start with everyone's favorite, which is Bella. If you don't know Bella Goth, she's had quite a time in The Sims. At some point she was abducted in The Sims 2, I think. Like, you could spontaneously see her walking around. She's full of mystery. She always wears a red dress. They also got, like, outfit revamps, by the way, recently, if you've not played, so update your game. But her moods are party animal, which is her aspiration, and she is family-oriented, romantic, and good. I debate that, but whatever. That's what we got for The Sims 4. So what book I'm going to recommend her is Nothing Burns as Bright as You by Ashley Woodfolk. This is a prose book. I think it's entirely written in prose, but it's friends to lovers romance. And if I remember correctly, I think that the fandom lore is that her and Mortimer are old friends. I don't know, but this might remind her of love. But she might also be one of those really hardcore romance readers. So I would also recommend to her Ice Planet Barbarians to remind her of her time that in another universe, in the multiverse of The Sims, she was once taken by aliens. I hope they didn't do the things that they did in Ice Planet Barbarians, but who knows? Who knows what was done with her there? I don't know. The next one up for the Goth family is Mortimer Goth, which is the husband. I think this one is the scholarly aspiration. I'm doing this by memory, so if I get it wrong, give me a break. But he is creative. I think that's the bro symbol? Or friendly? One of those two. And bookworm. There we go. Bookworm. So I think that he would really appreciate Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter by Seth Grahame-Smith. This is not only a really fun read, but it has a lot of historical context and pictures and stuff like that, which I think that Mortimer would really enjoy, and he would really like to delve into the history of Abraham Lincoln more and the whole history surrounding him. But with his aspiration, I would also recommend Roots by Alex Haley. Is that who wrote it? I have not read that since I was in the 9th grade, so bear with me, I might have got the author wrong. But this is one of the most important books I think that you can read. Basically, the author, he went through his family lineage and he wrote a book about them. He is black, so the book contains a lot about his family's life, what he imagines it might have been, or what he has historical context of what it would have been over in Africa. The slave trade, and it's through the eyes of his ancestors, so like how he imagined that they would have acted and felt, and what he gathers from historical records around his family. So that makes it even more heartbreaking, but also a really interesting read. Again, one of the most important books that I think that you could read. I think Mortimer either would have already read it or he might enjoy reading it. Next up, we have Cassandra Goth, who is my favorite Goth because she's Goth. We all went through that Goth stage as a teen. But I think that is the writer or wordsmith aspiration. But she's also creative and gloomy because, remember, she's a little bit of a Goth. But I think that she would really understand the journey that Clara goes through in Nature of Witches. I've talked about this book so much. I love it so much. Basically, this is a book about this girl who has, who's a witch. She belongs to this big coven of witches. They're like in a time where that's very much accepted, and they help governments out and stuff like that. Witches are usually born, and they have an affinity with one of the 4 seasons. She has an affinity for all 4. But something tragic happened when she was younger, which has caused her to not want to learn how to harness her powers. But with an upcoming meteorological event, a huge meteorological event that is about to happen, she is being super pressured to get her powers under control, and yeah, that way. This is a gloomy main character, which Cassandra would empathize with. Very teenager, but also it's a very, very good book about grief and strength and stuff like that. Or, you know, Cassandra might be just in the mood to cry, because sometimes we are in the mood to just cry. So she might want to read They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. This book will make you cry. If you don't know what this book is about, you've been living under a rock. But basically, it is set in the future where there is technology. It's like an app that everyone has on their phone, and it tells you the day that you are going to die. On the day that you are going to die. It doesn't tell you in the future, no. So the day of, you'll be like, oh, well, I guess I'm dying today. Our 2 main characters, they get notified that they're going to die today, and they meet up on another app that kind of like co-hosts with that original app, basically to find people to spend your last day with. They meet up together, and they have a grand adventure before their time comes. So the whole time, you know, as the title says, they both die at the end. You're anticipating it, but it still hits you in the gut like a rocket. It's very, very sad. But Cassandra might really, really like this type of read. And then last up is the youngest Goth. His name is Alexander. He is just a child, so he has, I can't remember what that one is. It's not creative. Might be motor. I think it's motor aspiration, but he's also a bookworm. But I think he might really like the Rick Riordan imprint series. Specifically, I'm going to call out City of the Plague God because that has a male protagonist, and also Tristan Stong, which also has a male protagonist, and the Stormrunner, which I can't find. Oh, there it is. I don't know if you can see that. It's so far down the stack, I don't want to get it out. But the Stormrunner as well. Any of those 3, basically, they all 3 have a similar thing. Something happens to our middle school aged main characters. They are transported to a world, or they are sucked into God business, where they are chosen to right a wrong, right something that they did, or run from the gods in the Stormrunner's case. All 3 of them very interesting, and I believe all 3 of them are set in the Percy Jackson universe, and no one tell me any different because I believe it, and I have like, I have a lore going on, okay? I have a lore going on. I don't have to work on it, but there's a lore going on. But yeah, anything in the Rick Riordan imprint series would be excellent for a kid his age. Alright, and that is it for books that I would recommend to the Goth family, and to you if you share any of these aspirations, if you're also a sim. I don't know. I don't know if you're a sim or not. I really don't care. You do you. But yeah, so thank y'all for watching. See you again. Bye.